we are going to be making our mini album. Yay! So we're going to be using Simple Stories, Kissing Booth, and this collection is so cute, you guys. You are going to love it. You are absolutely going to love this. So we will be using 2 of these Kissing Booth 12 by 12 paper collection stacks. Okay, so I'm so excited. This collection has so many cute details in it. Lots of cut apart cards. If you saw my video earlier, you will love it. I promise you. Okay, so remember, we will be using 2 of these for this mini album. And so let's go ahead and see what other goodies we got. We are going to be using the Simple Stories sticker chipboard set, and we're going to be using the Simple Stories Bits and Pieces Ephemera, and it has 66 pieces in this packet. We're going to be using the Zots, which is our 3D, like a little adhesive, and then our 3/8 inch Scor Tape. We're going to be using our art glitter glue, which dries clear. Awesome. And then we are also going to be using the smooth texture cardstock, premium cardstock black cat. Okay, and that is 8.5 by 11. And then we have some 12 by 12 Heartfelt Creations black cardstock. And this is awesome. You guys are going to love it. Okay, if you haven't used this yet, you need to buy a packet of this. It is $6.99 over at JS Hobbies, JS Hobbies and Crafts, and you will love it. I promise you. Once you start using it, you love using it. Okay, and for your supplies, you're going to need your trimmer. Okay, and you're going to need your scoreboard, and along with your bone folders and your I use a spatula for burnishing down my papers. Okay, you're also going to need your 12 by 12 chipboard, and then you're going to use your Tyvek as well. Okay, so and I will give you the measurements in just a bit for those. And then you're going to use your JS Hobby and Crafts ruler. This ruler is really neat because not only does it have the inches on one side, 1/8 inch, and then your inches, it also has your 1/16 inches on the other side of that, which is really nice to have. Then we are also going to be using this wonderful little goodie here. It is our EK punch, and it is a heart layering punch. Okay, and you are going to be able to create many different hearts. You get 3 different size hearts, a large, a medium, and a small, and then you also get a framed 2 different frames with this punch. So you can definitely grab this over at JS Hobbies and Crafts. Okay, and I had fun with this, you guys. I had to play with it right away. So here I am just showing you that a few hearts that I cut out from my red cardstock, and I had to play with it. So really, really cute hearts, and just absolutely loved playing around with this punch. And in the mini album, we use this in a few different ways for our inserts and other areas, but I don't want to tell you all too much. So now we're going to get started with our mini album. Okay, and you are going to go ahead and grab your 12 by 12 chipboard pieces. Okay, and you are going to cut them at 6.5 by 8. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in here in just a bit so you guys can see the measurements a little bit more clear. Okay, so 6.5 by 8, you're going to cut 2 pieces of those, and you are going to cut 1 piece at 2 1/8 by 8 inches. Okay, and that's going to be your spine. And so for this particular album, I decided 6.5 by 8. A reason being so you can fit your 4 by 6 pictures inside. And then to make it taller, we could have our 5 by 7 or taller photo mats inside of our album. Okay, and so here we are going to be putting our album together, and I did use Shellie Geigle's tutorial for this album. Okay, and I will put the link below. For this, you'll need 4 pieces of your Tyvek, okay, measuring 2 by 8. You will score them at 1 inch, and you will put Tyvek, or I'm sorry, you will put Scor Tape on both sides of the score line. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a piece of Tyvek, and I already went and scored mine down the center, which is at 1 inch. Okay, so again, they're 2 by 8. Score it down the center at 1 inch. Okay, and I'm writing down the measurement for you. Here I'm going to use my 3/8 inch Scor Tape, and I'm just going to go from end to end. So I'm just going to go ahead and tear that off and go from end to end on each one of my Tyvek pieces. Okay, and then I will be back. Okay guys, I'm back. So now I'm just burnishing my Tyvek. So I'm just burnishing them in real good, the tape and everything, making sure it's going to stick down really well. And then once I get everything burnished down, we are going to attach this to our chipboard album. So just going to go ahead and burnish this down a little bit more. And then you want to cut off any little pieces or bits of the tape, the Scor Tape, off, so it doesn't show on your album. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and bring over our chipboard pieces. Okay, and we're going to put them together. Okay, so you're just going to butt them up right next to each other. Just like that. Alright, and then you're going to go ahead, and I'm just kind of scooting them up where you guys can see everything. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure they're even. Alright, and put them up next to each other. You're going to grab one of your Tyvek pieces, and you are just going to go ahead and remove that backing off the tape. Then you're going to take that and you are going to place that score line right on the seam of where our chipboards meet. Okay, so you're just going to place that right on top of that. Make sure your score line is right on top of that seam. Okay, the chipboard seam. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put that from end to end there, just and then go ahead and just burnish that in. Okay, so just make sure it's stuck down real good. So, alright. Okay, so if you have a little lip right there, see how I have that a little bit, you can just go ahead and you can glue that down. That is not going to hurt anything. Okay, so it's just part of the seam of the Tyvek. And then again, you're going to go ahead and grab your other Tyvek piece, and you're going to go ahead and remove that backing off of the tape. Okay, and then you are going to go ahead and do the same thing. So you're going to go ahead and grab that Tyvek. The score line is going to sit on top of that seam where our two pieces of chipboard meet. Okay, and it just goes on there just like that, and you're going to go ahead and burnish that down as well. Okay, just like that. And again, I will put the link to Shellie's tutorial down below, so you can also see her video as well, okay? Because hers is going to be slightly different than mine. Alright, so here I'm just grabbing my glue, and I'm just going to go ahead along that seam and push that down. Okay, and again, that's just part of the Tyvek envelope seam. Alright, so there is our book. So yay! So there's one side done. So now we just got to do the other side. So now after we get this part done, we are going to go ahead. So excited here. So now after we get this part done, we are ready to go ahead and cover the inside of the book. And then we will also get our other two pieces and put those on. So I will be right back right after I take a short break. Hi guys, I'm back. So now we're going to go ahead and put the cover on the inside of our book, okay? So to do that, you are going to need two pieces of 12 by 12 pieces of paper, okay? And one you're going to go ahead and cut at 7 7/8 by 12, okay? The second piece is going to be cut at 3 3/8 by 7 7/8, okay? And that's going to fit at the end right there, all right? And you do want to leave, or if you want to, you don't have to, I guess, but I'm leaving just a little bit of a border around my book, okay? So I will be leaving a 1/8 inch around my book. And here I'm just writing the measurements down for y'all. Again, the first one, or that one there, is 7 7/8 by 3 3/8, and the other one is 7 7/8 by 12, okay? So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just measuring where my pieces are going to go and how far in that smaller piece is going to go. And usually I try to keep it at about a ½ inch, but I'm thinking it may be a little over a ½ inch. So although we'll go ahead and put tape on that edge of where the 12-inch is, we will probably need to add a little bit more adhesive, and we could just add our glue on that or another piece of tape. So right now we're just going to go ahead and leave a little bit of a border, and that's kind of what I'm showing you right here. We are going to go ahead, and when we put our tape on, you are going to put it in between where your Tyvek is from one of where it starts and then where it ends. So all across that whole area is where you're going to put your Tyvek. So I kind of got my tape, okay, my Scor tape, and I'm actually going to put my Tyvek or my Scor tape where, just kind of outline it, where my Tyvek starts. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my Tyvek or put my Scor tape where it ends. So I know that in between those two lines, I need to fill that with my Scor tape, okay? So, and you will do the same. So here, again, I'm just burnishing down as I lay my Scor tape down. And I know now in between those two lines is where I need to fill that whole space in with my Scor tape, okay? And then on the outside, I will put Scor tape, but it won't be really close together like I'm doing here, okay? So right here is where I'm putting my Scor tape really close together, just butting it up right next to each other, okay? And then I will continue doing that later. And then here I wanted to show you where you're going to put your tape at the end, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go around it like we do when we make our other mini albums. But I will not put, I will put some in the middle part, but it won't be right up next to each other. So you'll put about 3 or 4 pieces in between that area, okay? Or depending on the size of the tape that you're using. If you're using, let's say a 1 inch, maybe you won't need as much. If you're using a 1/4 inch Scor tape, then you will probably put a little bit more in between there. Again, I'm using the 3/8 inch tape. Okay, so here I'm just showing you again how I'm going to put my tape on around that little area there. Okay, that's the 12-inch piece. And so once I get these 3 pieces on, then I'm going to take a short break, fill in the rest of my tape on this piece, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. So I finished doing all of the tape along my paper, and I just was showing you I have excess tape there that's hanging over the edge of my cover, and so I'm just going to go ahead and cut those excess pieces off. Okay, so if you have any excess tape, just feel free to go ahead and cut those off of there. Okay, and so I don't know why I always get excess. Like everybody does, I think. So then after we get this done, I will go ahead and remove the tape. Okay, and then we will get to go ahead and lay this piece down. And we are almost done, guys. Then we can start. Then we can do the cover, covering the album, and that is going to be a bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of my tape. Okay, or the backing of the tape, I should say. Okay. And once I get all of this done, Okay guys, I'm almost done taking all the backing off of my paper. And we will go ahead and put this on. Okay, so you go ahead and turn your page over, okay, your cover over. And this is for the inside of the book, so remember, you're covering the inside of the book only right now. And you are going to go ahead and I'm leaving a little border along the side there. And I want to say it's probably about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little less. So you'll just go ahead and do the same. Okay, and you'll just go ahead and put that right across there and burnish that in. Okay, so there you go. So we're just going to burnish that in real good. Okay, and you're going to get your bone folder or your spatula or a little scraper, and you're just going to go ahead and go down the sides of your book there. Okay, just going to go ahead and make sure that's all burnished in really good. And then we're going to add in our other piece. That is the 7 1/8 by, what was that? Oh, I forgot the measurements, you guys. that is the 7 by, or 3 by 3/8 and 7 by 7 7/8 piece. Okay, and right now I am just putting 3/8 inch tape on that 12-inch piece that we just laid down on our album. Okay, and then I'm going to burnish that in, and then I'm also going to go ahead and put tape around the edges of my piece here. Okay, and then some in the middle part. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And again, I'm just putting it right along the edges there, okay? And you want to make sure that you're burnishing it in. Okay, you can burnish as you go, like I do, or you can burnish after you're done. And I'll be back in just a second after I get done. Okay, guys, so I'm putting the last of my tape on, and I'm going to go ahead and just burnish those down really good. And then we'll remove that tape as well. Okay. And this one doesn't take as long as the other one did. So this one's pretty quick. And then I had some little excess hanging over and I didn't cut it off, so sometimes you can fold those in, but if you have like a lot, then you want to go ahead and cut those off. Okay, so I just had like a couple and I just folded those inside. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach this piece starting with the outside first, okay, or the bottom part outside. So you're going to line that bottom piece up with the bottom piece that you've already adhered onto your album. Okay, so once you get that straight on there, then you'll just go ahead and follow that up along to the top. Okay, again, I left a little tiny border on the side there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and burnish that in. Okay. If you have a little extra piece or anything that needs some tape or add glue, go ahead and add that on there. Okay. And I'm just burnishing it in, and as I'm burnishing, I'm lifting up the album So in our little seam there, you can go ahead and put your bone folder or your scraper right in that seam and lift that up and burnish as you go. So it's kind of like you do your other mini album, where you go ahead and crease that with your bone folder, okay? And you're going to lift up as you push or fold your book end inside, okay? Just like that, okay? So you don't want to press too hard because you do not want the paper to rip, okay, in that seam, all right? You just want to go ahead and just kind of burnish it in, but use a gentle touch. And now we're going to go ahead and use the 2 Tyvek that we have left over and attach those to the outside of the album. So again, you'll go ahead and grab those, and you're going to have your album bent like that, where it's laid upright, okay, and you're going to attach your Tyvek to the book. Okay, and you should have Scor tape on your Tyvek already, alright, and your book will just stand upright on the ends there. You'll go ahead and take the backing off of your tape. And when you adhere this down, you're going to do one side first, okay? So you're going to grab your book and you're going to go ahead and adhere one side of the Tyvek, okay, to the one side of the book first. Make sure that you have that score line on that seam. And so you're just going to make sure that your score line is up on that seam there. And I was a little nervous doing this part, I have to admit. I didn't want to mess this up, y'all. I did not want to mess up. So yes, I was a little nervous, but we got it done. We got it done. So, yeah, so you'll just go ahead and fold that other piece over, just like that. Okay. And that looks really good. So, yay! I was so excited when I got that piece on there. So yeah, so it looks pretty good. So I was pretty happy with it. And then for the crease there, you're going to go ahead and get your nail or your bone folder or whatever you use, and you're just going to go ahead and burnish that inside that seam, okay? So you're just going to go ahead and make sure you get in that crease really well, because you want your tape to be on the inside, so there's no bubble sticking out of that area, okay? You do not want a bubble sticking out, so you want to make sure that you press that in really well, okay? And then once it's in there, lay it flat, and you'll be able to tell if there's anything poking out. Then you just need to go ahead and go back into that seam and burnish that in more. Once it is burnished in, then when you lay it flat, there's nothing sticking out of there, okay? So again, you're going to attach one side first, and this time what I did was I took off one side of my Scor tape, and then I laid that piece down, and then I went back in and took off the other side of the Scor tape once I laid them down. So I only took 1/2 off of that 2-inch strip, okay? So that's the side that I took off first, and I'm laying that down. lift up on that other part and take off the remaining score tape. Okay, and that was the easiest way to do that. Instead of taking all of them off at one time, I just took off one side first and then went back in and took off the other side after I laid them down. Okay, so then I folded it over and I went ahead and laid that down. Okay, again, you're going to go ahead and grab your bone folder or your spatula or your fingernail, whatever, you know, whatever works. And you're just going to go ahead and burnish that seam inside. See how it has that that little bubble there? I think I go ahead and I open that up and burnish that in there. Okay, see, right there. So you'll get your bone folder and you'll go ahead and just press that in. Okay. So you'll just press that in until it's all good and burnished in. Alright, just like that. Okay, and there is our book. It is done! Yay! So I am quite pleased with the way it turned out, y'all. And so the next part that we are going to do is I created a different way to go ahead and cover the back of your book. And I'll be back. Hi guys, I'm back. So we are now going to go ahead and go over how to cover the edges of our book. So I made two covers for our spine area, okay, and they just actually go right on the edge of where the Tyvek is, okay, so they cover up that Tyvek really nice. And so to make these, I cut two pieces, or actually I just made one for right now, one piece at 2 by 4 1/4, okay, and then I scored at 1 1/8 and at 3 3/8. So I went ahead and did one to show y'all, and then I scored down the middle part at 1 inch, okay, so it will bend over that edge of the book really nice. And then you're going to cut notches in one side, okay, on one side only, and that will fit over the spine area, okay, when it folds up for the book, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and do one with you, and what you're going to do is you're going to need one piece that is 2 by 4 1/4, okay, 2 by 4 1/4. So I'm just measuring it right now and making sure, okay, so 2 4 1/4, and then you are going to go ahead and grab, I'm going to grab my scoreboard, alrighty, and I'm going to turn my little strip lengthway, or and score down the middle at 1 inch. Okay, then I'm going to turn it again at 4 1/4. I'm going to score at 1 1/8 and at 3 3/8. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and fold those score lines in and burnish them down. Alrighty. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to cut your notches. You're going to cut your notches on one side only, and you're going to angle in on one side of that score line, and then you're going to angle in on the other side of that score line. And that's going to give you like a V shape, and that's what you're going to do on the other score line on the same side. Okay? So there you have your two notches to fit over your Tyvek area. Okay? So that turned out pretty good, you guys. I'm like so excited. So it looks really good when we put this on. I'm telling you, you will love it. Okay? And I think you guys are going to like the other idea I have too, how to cover your book. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just showing you how you're going to apply that on there. Okay? And you're going to stick the middle down first and then stick the sides on after the middle is done being adhered on first. You're going to go ahead and grab your score tape or your glue, whatever you're using, and you're going to go ahead and apply that on the side that doesn't have the notches, okay, from end to end. Alrighty, and then you're going to go ahead and just cut off any excess that's hanging over. Okay, you're going to go ahead and apply your tape down at the bottom. Now if you are using glue, what I suggest is maybe you do the one side first, adhere that on, and then maybe lift up the tabs once you apply that, or adhere that one side on without the notches, and then lift up the tabs and adhere, and then put your glue on the little areas that are going to fold inside of the book. Okay, so, and then here I'm just finishing up putting on my tape, and I went ahead and took one little piece of that tape off so I could get two pieces of the score tape set down on that little area there. Okay, and then I'm just removing the backing of the tape. Okay, and then after we get the tape backing off, we go ahead and apply our little cover here. And you're going to stick the middle part on first. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and adhere that middle part, the outside part first. You're going to put it right on that edge of the book. Okay, and I just pinch them together. Okay, so the inside goes and the outside gets adhered first, and then you wrap the outside edges and the inside edge on. Okay, and they both, like, they fit right over that Tyvek. Really nice, you guys. And then you're just going to go ahead and, again, like we did with our Tyvek, how you rubbed that seam in, that's what you're going to do here with these. You're just going to rub that seam right in. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. But doesn't that look nice? It looks so good. So it looks really nice. I like how it looks. It really covered it really nice. So again, you're just going to do the same thing on the bottom part of your next piece. Okay, so here I'm just adding the Tyvek, or the score tape, onto my little cover. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I will be right back. Okay? Hi guys, I'm back. So here we're going to go ahead and do the outside edges of the book again. And I went ahead and we put on the spine pieces, and I went ahead and made 4 strips to place onto the outside of the edges. So it's kind of the same idea like I did with the spine pieces, but it's a little different and they're longer. So you will need to cut 4 pieces at 2 by 12, okay? And you will score 1 inch down the middle, okay? And then you will score at 6 and 1/4 inch, okay, on each piece. Again, you will cut at that 6 1/4 inch score line. You're going to angle in, okay, and see how it covers over that corner there. That's what that's for, okay? So it just covers over that corner, and it'll fit really nice right over the edges of your book. And you know, I thought about it, and you don't really need to do it. You could do it for any album, okay? You can do this if you know, to go along with the spine pieces. So basically, you're just going to go ahead and you'll have a nice little edge piece for around your spine. I mean, around your book. So, so again, you'll cut 4 pieces, okay, and they just fit right over like that. And at this point, you can use glue if you wanted to. All right. Now, the end there doesn't go all the way into the spine, okay, area. There's about 1/4 inch maybe from the spine, so it does not go all the way to the end there, okay? So you don't have to worry about any bulkiness right there or anything. And then you're going to grab your other piece just like that. You're going to fit it over the smaller piece, and the longer piece will be towards the spine again, okay, on that end of the book, okay, on that bottom part of the book. So just like that, and again, you'll have 1/4 inch from that spine, so you won't have any bulkiness or anything there if you choose to wrap that, okay? So I think that is a really good idea. And so again, you'll need 4 pieces, okay? Hi guys, I'm back. So now we're going to go ahead and make our strips together for covering the edges of our album. So you are going to need your cutting board, okay, your trimmer, and you're going to cut 4 pieces at 2 by 12 inches, okay? So right now I'm only cutting 2 because I already have 2 that are made, but you will cut 4, okay? Then you're going to go ahead and get your scoreboard, and I will be getting mine here. And then I will go ahead and score down the middle at the 2-inch side, okay? So that will leave me 1 inch on each side. I'm going to turn my paper, my strip, at the 12-inch side, and I'm going to score at 6 1/4. Okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and fold those in and burnish them down really good. Alrighty, so you will have one side shorter than the other, okay, and that's what you want. So you want to cut a notch at an angle on one side of the score line there, and then you want to cut on the other side of the score line at an angle. So you will have a V again, but you don't want to cut all the way up to the fold there, okay? You want to leave a little bit of that fold still so it's attached, okay? So you can bend it around your corners of your book. All right, so you will just kind of squeeze that together. All right, and when you're bending it, squeeze it together and just kind of make it you know, a nice little fold there. So when you put it on that edge of the book, it will fit right over your corner. Okay, just like that. All right, and then you will do the other one just the same way. Okay, so you will get your other strip. And here I thought that was my strip, but that is not my strip, and I find my strip on the other side. So here you'll go ahead and score down the middle again, okay? And then you will go ahead and put it on the 12-inch side and score at 6 1/4. And then you'll burnish those in, so you'll just fold those in, those score lines in, and burnish them down really good. Fold it out and then fold it back over again, and then you will cut at an angle at that 6 1/4 inch score line. You'll cut at an angle on one side of that score line and then the other side of that score line. And remember, do not cut into the fold, okay, or it will not work. It'll probably fall. It may break or something. So you see how I left a little bit of that fold there. Okay. So you want to leave that there, and then you want to go ahead and again pinch that together when you put it on your book, so it makes a nice little crease there around your corner. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And you're going to add your glue. I think I used tape on this part, but you can use your glue if you want to. I don't remember what I used. I think I used glue. I think I did use my glue on this part, yeah. So I just went ahead and used my glue for this part, and I made sure that I put my glue in the edge there, in the seam I mean, right on that score line. So that's what I did there. And I just put it up and down along the inside of that strip. Okay, and then I also added a little bit of the glue right there in that fold, that little area where the notches are, in that little fold area. You want to go ahead and get some glue in there too. Okay. And I thought I put too much glue, so I went ahead and just grabbed my finger and kind of smoothed it out a little bit. So you want to just line up your score lines to the edge of the book. Alright, and then you're going to go ahead and wrap or just fold down, I should say, your flaps around that edge there, okay? And that gives you a really nice look. Okay, so now I'm just folding in the inside flaps of that, and just going to burnish those down really nice so it looks really uniform, and I think it looks really good, you guys. I really like this. It's turning out so good. And then we will go ahead and we will burnish that in really good. You want to make sure that you get you know, all of the areas burnished in. You don't want that coming off, okay? And burnish in the side areas, okay? So the edges where where your score lines were, you want to go ahead and burnish those in, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and put the bottom part on too. so looks really nice, and then you can go ahead and cut your paper and everything, and it will go right over that. So here I'm getting ready to just put on the bottom piece, okay, and I'm just showing you like how you can do your little flaps up there, so and how they will come together to make your little angles on the inside of your book. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put on that piece, and then the other outside pieces on the back, and then I will be back in a bit.